Hey, Super Friends! Good morning. It's Friday. It is May 1st. We've made it through the end of April, so we are now in Jumanji Level 5. Welcome, everybody, amidst the coronavirus pandemic. I'm John.
I'm Dom.
This is a little show that we used to do before the shutdown called Final Order Cutoff Roundup. And we are back, and that means that there are new comics in the pipeline. We're working towards a new comic book day of May 20th. Diamond has announced earlier this week that they are going to start shipping books out again. The target date is May 20th for new comic book shipments, so we hope to see you all as we reopen, probably a couple of days before, but definitely in time for Wednesday, May 20th for new comic book day. In the interim, we're going to still stay closed. We've got a lot of work that's going on here at the store. We're open for curbside pickup. Our hours that we are here in the store during the week are Monday and Thursday from 11 to 7, but we do the stream sales from 4 to 7 on both of those days. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, we are here at the shop from 9 to 5. So if you need to come pick up pulls, if you need to pick up some trades, if you need to pick up your stream sale or your reply sale wins, just give us a call. The number here at the shop is 303-484-9103, and we can schedule you a curbside pickup. We'll run your stuff out to you, and everybody, we're working towards new comics again, so that's pretty exciting. So this show that we're going to do is going to talk. We're basically going to go over some things that are going to be on FOC. FOC stands for Final Order Cutoff. It's something that we as a store do. It used to be every Monday before Diamond stopped sending us product, but it is our last chance to adjust numbers before comics begin to ship back out to us. So it's something that we're going to be doing every Monday from this point on. So we'll continue these write-ups. We'll continue these videos. As Dom mentioned earlier, if you miss this live episode, that's okay, because we are still going to have this on our Facebook page. And then you can also check this video out on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/Hall of Justice Comics Collectibles. We'll make a post about that too. The point of this show is to make you aware of stuff that's coming out. Final Order Cutoff, like I said, is our last chance to change our numbers. And we kind of have been, right before the cutoff, we have been scaling down the number of copies of rack books that we're putting out there on the shelf, because we knew that there was going to be at some point, a point where we had to shut our doors to the general public. That's pretty much going to continue. We're looking at cutting down to very, very, very minimal copies of books on the rack. So if you guys see something in these FOC posts that you absolutely want, that you want to guarantee that you get a copy of, you've got to let us know. And the way that you can do that, you can either comment on this video, you can comment on the post that we made earlier this morning on the Hall of Justice Facebook page, you can comment on the YouTube channel. There's two things that we want you to do. You can either comment that you would like to subscribe to the title, which means you will get whichever title we're going to be talking about, whichever issue we're talking about, plus any of the subsequent books that come out, or you want to pull a copy. Pull a copy means that we are just going to order you a single copy of that book, none of the issues that follow that, and we'll have a copy of that for you in your hold slot when the book comes out. So subscribe means you want it added to your subscription so that you don't miss an issue. Pull means that you just want to pull a single copy because you're not super sure if you want to commit to it or not yet. But that's what we want you to use. We want you to use sub and pull, and you can specify which cover you want. If you want to subscribe to the variant covers for Action Comics, or if you just want to pull a copy of the variant cover for Action, or if you want 5 copies because you really dig Lucio Perillo and you like the way he draws Superman, we can do that for you. You just have to let us know before 5 p.m. on Monday, May 4th. That is our Final Order cutoff time. Anything that comes in beyond that, you're kind of SOL. Like, we'll have to try to do a reorder for you, and there's no guarantee that those will be filled. Publishers are cutting their output. Everybody is looking at the numbers. So the way the FOC cycle works, on Monday, or technically on Tuesday, once all of the orders come in from stores across the country, Diamond sends those numbers to the publishers. The publishers then set their print runs based on those numbers. So none of this stuff has been printed yet. And then the publishers ship the books to Diamond. Diamond sends the books to us. So that's why it's so critical that we get the things that you want before Monday so that we guarantee that you will get a copy of the book that you want. Of course, barring shipping mishaps or damages or all of that sort of stuff, it's as close to being guaranteed as we possibly can. So that's what we do. That's what this show is all about. That's why we're here talking to you guys this morning. So let's get to it, shall we? Should we roll through it? It's weird because there's no Marvel books on this FOC. I don't know what the plan is for Marvel right now. All of the DC books that you're going to see are technically slated for release on June 3rd. This last Monday of this week, we did an FOC for just DC books that will be in store May 20th. We didn't do a type-up about that because they kind of came at us extremely last minute, but that stuff's already passed. We've got our orders in. But again, we cut our numbers pretty significantly to a couple of copies for the rack. So let us know. If there's something that you're looking for, let us know. We're going to start off this week with Action Comics 1022 from DC. In stores June 3rd. First, Metropolis was hit with the biggest ground battle in the history of the city and barely survived. On top of that, Leviathan threw down his gauntlet for the entire world to see, and Superman revealed the truth of his identity as Clark Kent. Now the city's in a state of shock, and Clark and Connor need to figure out what's next for them in the city they protect. Guest starring Wonder Comics' Young Justice in a unique crossover. The main cover on my side is by John Romita Jr., the variant cover on Dom's side is by Lucio Perillo. So again, that's Action 1022 in stores June 3rd. Next from DC this week, this was actually supposed to come out right around the Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey movie. Obviously that got delayed, and it is now going to be in stores on June 3rd. This is a $10 one-shot. It's $9.99. It is a Black Label Birds of Prey one-shot, so it's not a series that we can subscribe you to. So if you'd like a copy of this, please comment pull with either the main cover by Ivan Rice or the variant cover on Dom's side by J. Scott Campbell. Canary's life has spiraled out of control. Her personal life is going through the ringer, and her band is in crisis when an old flame resurfaces, only to flicker out and set her on an all-new mission against an all-new opponent. The only thing she has to be grateful for is the fact that she's not alone, as Huntress finds herself on a collision course with Black Canary's quarry at Detective Montoya's urging. Meanwhile, Harley has resurfaced outside of Gotham and out of the Suicide Squad with a new lease on life that's sure to make everyone else's life more complicated. And that's only the first 5 pages of this high-octane graphic novel-length one-shot that pushes the Birds of Prey far beyond their limits and puts them up against the most brutal crime syndicate to ever sweep into Gotham City. Brian Azzarello is writing this beast. Emanuela Lupacchino and Ray McCarthy are the artists inside the book. And you've got 2 awesome covers, one by Ivan Rice, the other by J. Scott Campbell. So $9.99 for this guy, just a one-shot. It's part of the Black Label. It is going to be prestige format, so it'll be a nice square-bound, fancy cover stock, all that good stuff. But again, it's $10. It's a one-shot. We're going to be very, very, very conservative in our orders, so there may not be a lot of copies for the shelf, for the rack. So if you want to make sure that you get a copy, you got to let us know, okay? Please let us know. Same thing with this next one. This next one we had already done an FOC for, but because of the delay, the coronavirus, hiatus, we are re-FOCing it right now. This is the Catwoman 80th anniversary 100-page super spectacular #1. That's a lot of adjectives. It is going to be in stores on June 3rd. Catwoman is turning 80, and DC is celebrating with nothing less than a huge soiree, invite-only, packed with creators who mean the most to her and to whom she means the most. Stories in this 100-page spectacular include a tale that takes place at the end of the Brubaker Stewart Catwoman run, in honor of artist Darwin Cook, he did a bunch of covers for that series. Plus, Catwoman is caught by an exotic cat collector. Joe Exotic or Carol Baskin? Which one do you think it is? That's ironic. That's ironic now because there's a whole nother agenda. runs into a wannabe thief trying to prove himself as her apprentice, and encounters a mystery involving memorabilia from alternate continuities, and of course, some Batman Catwoman fun.
These guys are so loud.
I know. Could there be a better time
more
to tape?
noise?
Thank you, Randy. It's fine. $9.99. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different covers for this. They are kind of mimicking the Decades variants. The main cover up top on my side is by Joel Jones, who has been the main artist on the series since the reboot. The 1940s cover on Dom's side over there is by Adam Hughes, and it's fantastic. The 50s cover right here on my side is by Travis Charest. He did that on purpose. The 60s cover on Dom's side is J. Scott Campbell from the 1966 Batman series. The 70s down here on my side. Can you please go tell them to not make so much noise with the Legos?
I've already asked you twice.
The 70s cover on my side is by Frank Cho. The 80s cover on Dom's side is by Stanley Art Germ Lau. The 90s cover, if you run us up a little more, Gabriel Del Otto is taking the reins of the Jim Balent Catwoman series. The 1990s variant on Dom's side is by, the 2000s variant is by Jim Lee. The 2010s cover is by Ji Hyung Lee, and then there's a very cool kind of purple texture. It's not the cover's not going to be textured,
They
but
said it's going to be textured.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, well, something else I read said it was going to be textured.
Okay.
Because I was wondering, it's like they keep showing this cover.
That's going to suck to draw on
It
because
is, it's really
of
odd,
all the.
It's cool looking.
I read that it was going to be printed to look like that, not that
Maybe
it
it
was
is
actually
print- I
going to
don't
be
know.
textured. But there is a blank. It's kind of got a cool little lavender hue to it.
It's probably cardstock, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a cardstock blank cover.
Okay.
So, all of those covers are $9.99. We need to know by Monday which cover you would like to order, or if you would like multiples, or if you want the whole set. Please let us know before the end of the 5 p.m. on Monday, May 4th. Okay. Next from DC in stores on June 3rd, we've got Detective Comics 1022. It's part 3 of the Ugly Heart story arc. Batman.
Can I guess which one that is?
Yeah, it's Oliver. I can hear. Batman has been blasted with bullets and left for dead by Two-Face's deadly Church of the Two. That sounds cool. And if Gotham is going to survive Two-Face's final revenge, they're going to need a miracle. But be careful what you wish for, because resurrection is already in progress, and this one involves a certain clown prince and the heir to Gotham's vigilante throne. Main cover on my side is by Brad Walker. Variant cover on Dom's side. That's probably the coolest Two-Face cover I've ever seen by the one and only Mr. Lee Bermejo. So, in stores June 3rd. Finally, from DC, also in stores June 3rd, we have Event Leviathan Checkmate. It's a 6-issue miniseries. This is issue number 1. From the award-winning creative team behind last year's Event Leviathan comes the next surprising chapter in DC's deadliest saga. Leviathan has agents and acolytes all over the world, but what is the secret behind its power? The planet's last best hope to infiltrate Leviathan may be this motley collection of spy masters now teamed up to try to take back the world that was stolen from under us all. Green Arrow, The Question, Talia al Ghul, and other unlikely allies converge to tackle Leviathan as members of the new Checkmate. But who is the surprise hero behind this team? Big clues to the future of the DC Universe start here. Written by Brian Michael Bendis. The main cover and interior art is by Alex Maleev right there. The variant cover on Dom's side is by Brian Hitch. 6-issue miniseries in stores on June 3rd. All right, so from IDW this week, I think we've already talked about this one too, but it's on FOC again. We have the Star Wars Adventures Clone Wars #1. The exciting weekly series, friends. So, being that it's weekly, that means we're going to have an issue 1 out May 20th. And then the next issue is going to be the following week. So that's going to be May 27th, and then June 3rd, and then June 10th, and then June 17th. So we are only taking subscription orders for this because by the time you pull a copy of #1, #3 is already going to be out, and you will have no idea. We won't have any way to get that for you. So the only thing that we're doing for weekly books like this is subscription only. This exciting weekly series explores a time of great upheaval in the galaxy, the Clone Wars. While Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker, and other Jedi Knights confront Count Dooku, 2 Republic squadrons must hold their position against an encroaching droid army of the Separatists. Pinned down for the duration, Commander Cody, Captain Rex, and other clones swap war stories that feature your favorite characters from the Clone Wars animated series, such as Padme, General Grievous, and many more. So it's kind of like a cool anthology series, behind the scenes, soldiers telling tales while they're in the trenches. But it's a weekly series from the folks at IDW.
They do a good job with these.
They really do.
IDW.
And all of the Star Wars adventures and the Marvel action lines are totally kid-friendly. So if you guys have been watching the new Clone Wars series at home while you've been in quarantine, this is the perfect thing to read with your
just for
kiddos.
kids either.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the
not.
best part.
You're
They're fun
absolutely right.
stories.
They're fun, just lighthearted, fun stories. So Clone Wars #1, it's weekly, so we're only doing subscriptions on this. We're not going to be able to pull... I mean, if you want us to pull a copy of #1 for you, we can do that. But just know that you're not going to be able to get a copy of 2, 3, 4, and 5. We would really just appreciate if you would subscribe to that title. From Image this week and in stores May 20th, we have the original graphic novel called Bog Bodies, written by Declan Shalvey, who is Irish, with art by Gavin Fullerton. An Irish gangster on the run after a job gone wrong stumbles upon a young woman lost in the Dublin mountains. Injured and unarmed, the unlikely pair must try to evade their pursuers and survive the desolate bog that has served as a burial ground for unspeakable murders throughout history. We got a kind of an ashcan preview of this at Comics Pro back in February. It looks fantastic. If you dig kind of crime, suspense, drama stuff, this could be right up your alley. It is $12.99 for the complete original graphic novel, and it is on cutoff on Monday, May 4th. Next from Image in stores May 20th. This is another one that we have already FOC'd, but because of the way the shutdown worked, we're doing it again. So we got Ludocrats #1. It's a 5-issue miniseries. The Ludicrous Aristocrat. That sounds fun. A collision of the ornate fantasy of Dune and an M-rated Asterix and Obelix. I'm sure most people don't know what that is, but look it up. The guy who created those characters just passed away recently. Baron Otto von Hades and Professor Hades 0K are here, and they're going to save us all. Have a nice time. Kieran Gillen, who is the writer of this series, as well as Die and Wicked and Divine and Darth Vader, and Jim Rossignol, they're co-writing the series. Sorry. Jeff Stokely from The Spire is drawing it. Colors are by Tamara Bonvillain from Once and Future. The universe screams in pleasure, writhing finally, satisfied, complete, joyous. Main cover on my side is by Jeff Stokely. Variant cover on Dom's side is by Jamie McKelvey. I really don't know what that's about. Ludicrous Aristocrats. So, insane rich people? I mean, aren't all rich people insane for the most part? I wouldn't know.
Oh, you wouldn't.
I'm not rich
You're not
nor
rich.
insane. I mean, I am a little
It kind of
insane.
gives me that, like, Alice in Wonderland meets something else.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
Beverly Hills or something.
Sure. That's a good... Like Beverly Hillbillies and Alice in Wonderland. I don't know. I got nothing. Okay, from artists, writers, and artisans AWA this week, we have this is another one that we've already FOC'd, but it's back. Year Zero #1. It's a 5-issue miniseries. Benjamin Percy of Wolverine and Green Arrow is writing, and Ramon Rosanas from Star Wars Age of Resistance is doing the art. Team up to present an epic tale that offers a global look at the zombie apocalypse. A Japanese hitman, a Mexican street urchin, an Afghan military aide, a polar research scientist, and a Midwestern American survivalist. 5 survivors of a horrific global epidemic who must draw upon their unique skills and deepest instincts to navigate a world of shambling dead, not Walking Dead, shambling. Year Zero wrestles with the weighty moral and theological questions posed by the pandemic and investigates its cause and possible cure. Main cover on my side is by Carrie Andrews, and it's pretty cool because those are the maroon bells in that cover, which are mountains that are just up outside of, I think, Aspen or Vail. Yeah. And the variant cover on Dom's side is a wraparound cover by Mike Diodato.
I like that one.
5-issue miniseries, Year Zero #1.
Did we go over this like a month ago?
We did.
Or more?
Yeah.
It's so weird to be doing this.
It is. It's bizarre. This next one sounds fantastic. From Aftershock this week, we have Dead Day #1 in stores on May 20th. If the dead could come back for just one night, would we want them to? Meet the Haskins, a seemingly normal suburban family as they prepare for the annual macabre holiday known as Dead Day, when the deceased rise from the grave from sunset to sunrise. Some come back to reunite with family and friends, others for one last night of debauchery, still others with only one thing on their decomposing mind: revenge. From writer Ryan Parrott, who did Oberon and Volition, and he's currently writing Power Rangers and Power Rangers Ninja Turtles, and artist, I'm going to butcher this guy or gal's name, Evgeny Bornyakov. I'm going to go with that. From Descendant and You Are Obsolete comes an unnerving tale of existential horror with grave consequences.
Oh, great.
That sounds awesome. That's like the ultimate Dia de los Muertos right
Yes.
there. Typically, Aftershock books are 5 to 6 issue miniseries. They don't solicit it that way because if the series becomes successful, they keep it going, like Dark Ark and like Animosity. But this is a cool one. Dead Day #1 from Ryan Parrott and Evgeny Bornikov. Who knows?
I don't even see what we're reading.
What's that?
I'm like looking for that name.
Yeah.
I can't even see the name.
We'll have to ask Rita. Maybe it's Russian. I don't know.
Yeah, Rita could decide that for us.
This is another one that we've already FOC'd, but it's back because of the shutdown cycle. Disaster Inc. #1. This one sounds really weird and fun to me. In 2011, the worst earthquake in Japan's history and the catastrophic tsunami that followed breached the coastal Fukushima Daiichi power plant.
You said that really well.
Thank you. I did well with that. I don't know about that other Evgeny Bornikov, but causing 3 of its 4 nuclear reactors to melt down. Forced evacuations followed as the event released enough radioactive material into the air, ground, and water to force officials to set up an exclusion zone for only the second time in history after the Chernobyl disaster, effectively sealing off the land for what may well be the rest of human history. But that's only if you don't have the right connections, the right people to pull the strings, and the desire to experience catastrophe, failure, and misery as it really is. Enter Disaster Inc., an underground tourism outfit intent on helping people of means. Secrets and agendas explore the dark corners and off-map attractions typical tour groups won't go to, and that various laws don't allow. Only Fukushima, known for its famed warrior class and their protection of the land and people dating back to ancient times, is full of deadly surprises and old ghosts. So if you've got enough money, you can go into these zones that are designated off-grid for most people. That sounds cool. That sounds like
I like this.
stuff's going to happen. Things are going to go down. So, Disaster Inc. #1, written by Joe Harris with art by Sebastian Perez, in stores on May 20th. New comic book day. New comic book May. How about that?
Yeah, exactly.
So that wraps up the kind of featured #1s. Next, we have a little segment called Who Does #2 Work For? We got to get that clip in there at some point.
Oh, I got to make one.
The only #2 that's on FOC this week is Boom Studios' Jim Henson's Storyteller Ghosts. For those of you that don't know, that's an anthology book that each issue has kind of a different folklorical ghost story from around the world. It's a 5-issue miniseries. I believe, let me pull it up because I didn't write a summary of issue #2. Hang on one second because I suck.
This cover is fantastic.
And I'll get you the name of the cover artist too. Okay, so Storyteller Ghost #2. A young Khmer woman turns to black magic that promised to give the caster wealth, power, and beauty, unlike that of any other human. When the spell turns on its caster, she must learn to deal with the consequences of magic and what it means to be an AHP. I don't know, AHP? I don't know what that means. Written by Jennifer Rostowski with art by Michael Walsh. The main cover on my side is by Michael Walsh. The B cover on Dom's side is by Jennifer Rostowski. And there is also... Nope, it's just those two. Sorry, that's it. No, there's a C cover right there. That's the FOC cover by Danny Strips. So that is our one and only Who Does #2 Work For this week.
What's the FOC covers?
The FOC covers that Boom does, like this one right here, are only available to stores that participate in Final Order Cutoff. That's the only way that we as a store can order these. If we don't do FOC, it's like this cover doesn't even exist. We don't even know that it's out there in the ether. So this is always going to be, for Boom Studios, the least printed of the 3 covers. So, you know, whether that means that it's more valuable or not, who knows? But it's kind of cool that they do that. It's just a pain to manage from our standpoint, because A and B are in my initial order. This one only shows up at FOC. So, but that is the FOC cover by Danny Strips. And I like that dog. He kind of looks like my dog.
He does.
Kind of looks like Ferris.
Really?
So that's your rundown for this week's Final Order Cutoff Roundup. Last but certainly not least, we have the entirety of the catalog that is available on FOC this coming Monday. So you can scroll through there. They're all sorted alphabetically by publisher. I didn't take the toys out, so there's a bunch of toys and stuff in there. If you are looking at this list and you're like, hey, what is Mirka Andolfo's Unsacred number 5 cover D look like? If you go scroll back up to the top, it's...
I'm just going to go ahead and do it.
Yeah. All you have to do is highlight the diamond number right there. So this had a January of 2020 item code. Copy and paste that into a web browser, whatever your web browser of choice is, like Dom's walking us through right here. The very first result that is going to pop up is the Previews World listing for that exact item. So here you have the Mirka Andolfo Unsacred Cover D Angelina Cat variant. It's got the SR suggested retail price of $3.99. You have all of the information about the book. You have the creators, all of the solicit info. So you can basically go through the entire list and put together your want list, send it over to us before the end of the day on Monday, May 4th, before 5 p.m., and we'll get all that stuff ordered for you. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right?
Exactly.
So we're giving you all the tools that you need to be able to do what you want to do and order the books that you want to order. Again, I can't emphasize enough how important it is to take pre-orders right now, because we are cutting our numbers, because we still don't know what it's going to look like. We don't know what the COVID-19 cases are going to look like at the end of the month. Colorado is working towards reopening. I think Douglas County, we can technically be open today,
Yes,
but
today.
we are in no position to do that because the front of the house is a disaster because we're sorting a bunch of boxes. I don't think that we're going to be ready by May 8th. Our target is to be open for May 20th for New Comic Book Day, to have all of this stuff here available for you guys. So, and even then, we'll probably have restrictions to no more than 10 people in the store at a time. You're probably all going to have to wear masks, but we'll talk more about that as we get closer to that date. Right now, let us know what you want to order before the end of the day on Monday, and we'll be happy to order you whatever we have.
Sounds good.
All right, we'll see you guys around. Make sure you check out our surplus sale later today, maybe tomorrow, depending on how quickly I can get stuff done. And then we do the stream sales Monday and Thursday from 4 to 7 Mountain Time. Yeah, that's it. I'm John.
I'm done.
You guys be safe, take care, and we'll see you soon.